to receive life, if you want to live life, you need to listen. Not only listen to yourself, but also listen to others and listen to the God. So listening is the only way you can truly relate with you and to others. So if you just only want to talk without listening, then you are not going to have awareness of what is happening within you, and you're not going to have awareness of what others are thinking. So you need to listen. So listening needs three things from all of us. He says, a passive inner space. It means inner space that invite the other person to pour themselves into your listening. So it means be patient to wait passively for other person to speak. And a deep patient that can wait for a solution to emerge on its own. Don't jump onto the solution without waiting. Sometimes the solution may come later on, but don't jump without patience. Very impatient is not going to solve the problem. And then lastly, but the courage to respond spontaneously without any prepared answer or a ready-made solution. Because you are experiencing life. Life has no script. Understand? It is just a happening, a flow. So a lot of time you need to learn how to respond on the spot, just spontaneously, without your prepared answers to the other person. So that requires courage to be able to respond on the spot, impromptu. Okay, so these were the few things that we learned last week. Of course, a lot was covered, but I'm just picking up a quick summary. Next slide. So now let's enter into the very first spiritual principle. Swamiji introduced 4 tattvas. This is the first tattva, integrity. The Sanskrit word is called sampurti. So he say integrity is you fulfilling the word and thoughts you give to yourself and to others, and experiencing a state of purnatva, completion with yourself and with life. So that is the definition of integrity. It means honoring the word you give to yourself, not only just the word, but the thoughts you give to yourself and others, and experiencing a state of completion with yourself and with life. Life can also mean with other people or with the divine, with nature. Okay, so that's the quick definition of sampurti, integrity. Next slide. So he said, what is exactly integrity? Let's go on a bit deeper, delve a little bit deeper. He said, listen, integrity is the first sacred principle of life. Integrity is the principle on which the whole cosmos runs. Understand how important is that? Cosmos is able to run based on this one spiritual principle, integrity. So the sun rising every morning without missing a day is integrity. Your heart beating continuously without missing a beat is integrity. And by nature, God built you with integrity. See, all of us comes with that the biomemory of the 4 tattvas, whether it's integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching. But because of society make us forget about this spiritual principle or make us lose our integrity. So by our very nature, we were built with integrity, understand? So your inherent nature is integrity. That is why whenever you're not in integrity, you feel so uncomfortable and incomplete. When you say something but you didn't honor the word you give to someone, or when you speak to yourself that you do this but you didn't do it, be very clear. All this non-integrity leaves a hangover within you. Over a period of time, it creates a chunk of residues that makes your whole inner space clouded with all these incomplete words or promise that you didn't do. So over a period of time, when you are constantly you're not able to honor the word you give, then you get a big chunk, right? So that is what make you filled with inner chatters. With that amount of inner chatters, it makes you forgetful. So people with no integrity will be forgetful because a whole bunch of impurities or cobwebs are inside. They never clean up. So understand very clearly, integrity is neither honesty nor morality. It is beyond both. It's something more, much more powerful. So next slide. So he said, we all know in honesty, right? Honesty means you're being true to something. But with the tattva of integrity, I'm taking you a step deeper than honesty. Honesty is like maybe societal level. But with honesty, you only have to honor the words and commitment that you give to others, right? That is at only people to people level. However, with integrity, you have to honor even the words and commitment you give to yourself, you, which is the source of everything. If you don't honor the word you give to yourself, then obviously with others it's going to also be affected. So honesty is not integrity, but integrity is honesty also, because with integrity you will take care of honesty and something more. So integrity is neither morality nor ethics. It is beyond both. It is not like, because morality or ethics is very societal, but integrity is spiritual. So here's a contemplation. See, contemplate. Integrity is neither honesty or morality. It includes both, but it is beyond both because it's much bigger than just the societal understanding about honesty and morality. Understand? So just keep that in mind. If you live in integrity, you will have honesty and you will be a moral person. But when you live only on honesty, not necessarily you will have integrity. Or you try to be moral, doesn't mean that you will have integrity. Understand? But when you live in integrity, you have everything. Next slide. So he said, your words are your life. Understand? Why is it so important to honor your words? See, whether you realize it or not, your life is built on the words and commitments that you give. The words you give to yourself and others is the structure on which your life building is built. That means the foundation that you are building your life. If your life can be compared to a building, the words you give to yourself and others is like the foundation of this building. It has to be free from dust and rust, which means that it has to be free from unconscious pattern. When you have a lot of unconscious pattern, be very clear, the foundation of your building is going to be very, very fragile. Next slide. So the unconscious words you give to yourself and others is like the dust and rust on a building, and it weakens the foundation. So a building built upon a rusty, dusty structure cannot last very long. As you can imagine, it collapses anytime. It has to be made of pure, authentic, strong steel. So in the same way, your life is built on the words and commitment you give to you and to others. It has to be built without unconsciousness or unawareness. When you're speaking, you're relating with people, when you fall into unawareness or unconsciousness, you do things without what you're aware, then obviously you get into trouble. Next slide. So he said, I tell you, the strength of your life is based on the words you give to you and to others. If your words are conscious, your life will be conscious. If your words are unconscious, your life will be unconscious. It's as simple as that. So when you utter unconscious word in the relationship or in a business, you will be unaware of what consequences life is going to bring to you. However, when you are unaware of the consequences of your words, life will always bring shocks to you, right? Because when you are unaware, you say, why this thing happened to me? So there will be a lot of shock to your system. If life is continuously bringing shocks to you, understand you're not living in integrity. When life is giving you something that you are not able to accept or not able to relate, then look in. There may be areas that you are not living with integrity. Integrity forms the basis of your life. Integrity is part of your very life energy. It is the energy on which you and the whole cosmos runs. So that's why this chapter is so important, to align ourselves back to integrity. Next slide. So here's the activity. Please, if you have a pen or a pencil, do you have? You have a pen and pencil, please? Paper. So here's the activity you need to do. You see, at the end of the day, today is almost the end of the day already, write down all the words and commitment that you have given to yourself today. Without editing, just write down everything that comes to your mind that you remember. For instance, oh, I'm going to meet my mother this weekend. Okay, I'm going to quit smoking in a month. I'm going to work on time tomorrow. For instance, these are the words you talk to yourself, how you say it to yourself. So writing brings you to awareness of what you think about yourself and your commitments you make to yourself. Do this exercise. When you do this exercise continuously for 11 days, you'll realize your words and commitments shape your life. So now, you're going to spend a few minutes, just write down, today, the moment you woke up from your bed, when consciousness landed back to the body and you remember you in this body, what are the words that you're, given to yourself? That means the words and commitment you give to yourself, like, oh, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to have this. So whatever you have decided and how you spoke to yourself, write it down. Okay? So you're going to spend like 5 minutes to write it down so that you become aware. Okay? So remember what words you give without editing, because you're only going to see for yourself, nobody's going to read your notes. So don't worry about that. So he says, write everything that comes to your mind, that you remember what you said to yourself, what you want to do, the action that you meant to take. So you can continue to write. We'll go on to the next slide. So integrity is not just in actions. Integrity is not about your action alone. For example, going to work on time every day or coming on time to morning satsang. All these are good, of course, but integrity is much more than and deeper than that. He said coming on time is not integrity. That is the side effect of integrity. Your very thinking should be integrity. I tell you, a person who lives with integrity will always be on time, because punctuality is just a side effect of integrity. Okay? So this is side effect of integrity. Your very thinking needs to be integrity. A person who lives with integrity will always be on time, because punctuality is a side effect of integrity. Next slide. So if you're thinking in integrity, you are in the space of unclutching, continuously freeing yourself from the negative mental patterns that you create and suffer. Obviously, contemplation has to be with constant integrity. Today, throughout the day, continuously try to think with integrity. That means be very aware of the words you say to yourself and others, and the consequences of your words. Remember, in order to be in integrity, you have to fulfill the commitments you give to yourself and others. So that is what integrity. So throughout the day, always remember what you say to yourself and others, and the consequences of your words. Next slide. So you have to live it as if your life depends upon fulfilling those words. It does. Be very clear about this. So think and speak only in the way that allows you to create a space of integrity within you. In that way, constantly create the ambience, the atmosphere of integrity inside you. So that is what is Swamiji want us to do, to constantly bring that awareness. That awareness create an ambience or inner space that for integrity to live inside you. Okay, so to fulfill the words you give to yourself and others. So here's the activity. So in the previous activity where you wrote what you remember from the morning to throughout the day, you had made notes of the commitment you give to yourself. Now bring awareness to the commitments you have not fulfilled. Okay, so as an extension of the first activity, which commitment you have not fulfilled. See how you have not kept each commitment instead of dropping it. Just compare. Let's say you have a long list of, let's say, 20 things that you listed down from the day you remember you woke up to now, and then see how many you fulfill, how many you slip. Okay? Bring awareness, maybe make a tick or circle those that you have not fulfilled, and see how you have kept each commitment instead of dropping it. Those that you feel fulfilled, just see it, and those you didn't do, see it also. Okay? Next, us. Let's listen. He said, when you give a commitment to yourself or to others, it becomes like a bone structure of your very life itself. If you continuously break the bones of your life, can you imagine how your life will be? Full of pain, distorted, and perverted, right? So the words that you give to you are the bone structure of your inner personality. If you are able to honor the words you give to others in the outer world, then you will have a lot of outer world success. And if you give the words to yourself and you are constantly honoring the words you give to yourself, this builds your inner personality, how you perceive yourself, how much you appreciate yourself. If you are constantly breaking the bones of your life, naturally life will be painful. Understand? Breaking the bones of your life brings pain. Next slide. So you function based on the words and commitment you utter to yourself and others. Am I right? Everything in your life starts with these two things only. So the words you give to you and to others is life, literally life. They are the basis of the action, inaction, and reactions in order to be successful in your word. Next slide. So don't speak loosely. Swamiji said, speak consciously, because every word you give is life. So if for some reason you're really sure you can't fulfill the commitment, at least, do bone transplantation. Means completion. He said, don't fracture the bone, do bone transplantation, which means completing the words you by declaring that you're not able to fulfill it. So when you do this by completing with yourself or others, it is called completing with that original commitment. Okay, by completing, you free yourself and the other person to whom you committed, so that they are released to find another way to fulfill the commitment you make to them. Let's say you say that, oh, I'll help you to do this, and then you didn't inform the other person that you're not able to do it. So the person is still waiting, hanging in the air, thinking that you're going to help you. You're going to help him to do something, and then so by the time he found that you didn't do, then it'll be like such a feel that he cannot trust you, and he has no confidence in you because you did not honor the word that you give to him that you will help to find something or fix something. So if you know before the deadline, let's say you say in 1 week I will do this for you, and you know that you're not going to be able to do it in 1 week, at least let him know before 1 week's time and say, so and so, sorry, I have to complete with you, I'm not able to do this part. I want to complete with you because of something that come out, and so that you can find other ways to still fix your problem and go on to do what he wants. But without you completing, then the person will be hanging in the air waiting for you to come back. So that is an important consideration whenever, even with yourself. Let's say you make a commitment to yourself that say, I'm going to do this, and you realize that, oh God, you are not going to do it within the time frame you give the word. So then you have to go inside and complete with yourself and say, I complete with myself that I said I'm going to do this, but I'm not able to do it now. Let me just restore my integrity by completing it, and then make a new commitment. Okay, make a new words you give to yourself. Next slide. So for example, dollars within a certain period of time. Now you must do everything to fulfill it as if your life depends on it. You have to fulfill that word. If for some reason you are very sure that even with all your sincere efforts, you will not be able to fulfill the commitment of giving 1 million to that person, give the people, then at least complete with the person. Let them, I'm taking that word back. Please look at some other source for that money. That it is completion. That is integrity. So you're taking the responsibility to communicate about the commitment you give. Okay, so integrity is you taking the responsibility to communicate about the commitment you gave earlier. Next slide. As a last resort, not as a convenient get out situation. Because as a bone surgery, not as a way of life. Will you do bone surgery with yourself every day? No, right? So only rarely would you even consider doing bone surgeries. Bone surgery cannot be done every day. That is damaging to your health. So in back, the words cannot be done on a daily basis. That is, you're abusing this. Whether you, with yourself, with others, the habit of not keeping the words, creating more negative pattern in you that will erode your confidence in yourself and your reputation in the hearts of others. So only rarely is the allowed, only rarely. That means the moment you give the words, you have to do as much as you can, even give your life to make it happen. But not conveniently say, oh, I complete with you, I can't make it. No, it's not going to work that way. So don't use completion as a convenient way out. Do it so casually. If you really, really can't fulfill it. Fulfill your word or complete it if you can't fulfill your word. These are the only two choices available to you when you want to live in the space of integrity. There's no room to live anything without fulfilling or completing. See, the moment you give a commitment, either you do it, means fulfill the word, or you complete. But in the second option is you shouldn't, when you really are caught in a situation that you know for sure that you can't do it, then you restore your integrity by completing with the other person or yourself. Only in the last resort that you can't do it. Not when you feel that, oh, okay, I feel very lazy today, I don't do it, so I'm just going to tell the person I complete with that person. No, that's not. As if your life depends on it. Let's say you tell someone, I will do this for you, and if you don't do it, your life is going to be, at stake. So don't make excuses for yourself. Just decide to do whatever it takes. You will take a leap to a whole new level of living. So this is what Swamiji told us. Whenever you are aware, fulfill the words or commitment that you give to your others. Make sure that you fulfill it. Don't give excuses. The truth. So he said, you should be aware that when you give a commitment, your life has already started getting built around that commitment. You have started building your life based on the commitment, and your life energy has already started flowing to make that commitment a reality. If you find yourself out of integrity, continuously look into you are carrying. What pattern you're carrying that makes you miss the integrity? It could be a lot deeper than just having issues with managing time. It could mean that you are living with utter unconsciousness, because when you give the word, you're not aware of what you're doing. You give word loosely. If you give 100 commitments and 99 are not kept, what does that mean?